Happy Devils Sunday. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast, Season 9, Episode 17. Coming to you live from the Primetime Radio Studios inside the bunker. Undisclosed location, beautiful New Jersey. From the Mountain View, cross-continent, to the Michael J. Fox Studios in Beverly Hills, California. It's Scotty at Sirius XM, Liquid Metal, and Beer Baron, as we're streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, Twitch, and now on Instagram Live on the Let's Go Devils Network. As, the United States won gold in the Olympics off a Jack Hughes game-winning goal, the golden goal.
Just like we wrote. Just like it was written up, right?
Not exactly. I mean, did any of us would predict that? I mean, half of us were like, is he really on the team? He's on the fourth line.
I don't know, man. I'll tell you what. Jack had an amazing Olympic run. And to be honest with you, yeah, there were a lot of people at first, like you just said, that were not too thrilled that he was on a team. They thought that, Jason Roberts could have been an appealing choice instead, or something, what? I thought you were about, never mind. Anyways, but he showed he belonged on the team. He showed he was one of the better players on the team too. I mean, like, he was electric. The goal that he had tonight, if you watch that entire play unfold, it was incredible. Hell of a play by Werenski too. Like, that whole game. I don't think I sat down that entire time. Like, I must have been standing the entire time during that game. But yeah, dude. Here we are. Jack Hughes, Olympic hero, Jack Hughes. Scotty, were you able to watch it at 5 a.m.?
No.
So you didn't watch any of the game? You missed the whole thing?
Yeah. I'm not getting up at 5 a.m. for that. You kidding me?
Yeah. I don't know, man. You missed a heck of a game. I'll put it that way, because the recap is a recap. But I'll tell you, from start to finish, you could tell, in other games, U.S. would be, chirping everybody and taking shots, and it felt like everybody on the ice was just all business, the entire time. It was straight up, the Kachuk brothers weren't trying to run anybody on the boards. I mean, Tom Wilson, he took a run at Dylan Larkin, and absolute monster of a hit. But from puck drop, they score that first goal, and I was like, all right, they have to pad this lead, because there's no way. Hellebuck played out of his mind the entire Olympics, and rightfully should have been the MVP. And the fact that Connor McDavid apparently got the MVP of the Olympics, yeah, he had points, but Hellebuck had what? How many? He had 120 saves to 5 goals or something like that. It was something ridiculous, a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, but what's the competition?
The competition,
Latvia,
they
Italy,
played Sweden,
France.
At least
they played Sweden and Canada.
Germany's no slouch. They played.
Come on, those teams don't have a chance.
Yeah, well, all I know is
either or. Hellebuck played well. Yeah, he played well. But McDavid played well too. So whoever it is, same thing on Canada's side. They didn't. I don't know. I'm not. It's whatever. For me, I don't get into it as much. But I'm glad everyone's happy.
I love it. I love it. I know you don't get into it as much, but I love it. And I'll tell you, Team USA, perfect on the penalty kill. At one point in the game, they go on a 5-on-3, and I'm like, this is the worst team in the world to go 5-on-3 against, because their first power play has the likes of McKinnon, Celebrini, who's been playing out of his mind too during the Olympic tournament, and McDavid and Makar, and you're looking at this first power play unit, and you're like, this is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. That team is so dangerous, up and down the line. Even if you're not into it as much, dude, as like a fan of hockey, like it was just a solid hockey game. I mean, tightly contested.
I mean, it should be.
There's
a friggin' gold medal game, right?
Yeah, obviously. And there's opportunities like McKinnon had a wide open yawning net, and he just put it off the side of the net at one point. Yeah, dude, it was intense. You get to, I mean, the Sweden game was intense. That game was, and it felt the same kind of way, like up 1-0, except the reverse where Sweden tied it with like a minute 30 left, and then Quinn Hughes went into time, and then here is his brother, Jersey Jack, doing the same after getting his grill absolutely busted up, dude. He's missing a giant chunk of one front tooth. Missing a chunk of the other front tooth, missing a chunk of teeth downstairs, busted up lip. That's hockey, baby. It was like such a game.
I was hoping Jack wouldn't get injured when they put the medal, on. I'm just kidding around. No, you know what? It brought the best. It brought the best out of all.
I missed Sam Wu. I
was just kidding around. It was it's just jokes, folks. It's jokes.
I know.
All right. But
it was funny.
I think look at what happened at the Olympics, the big picture here. USA hockey in the last 50 years has grown tremendously, especially after that 1980 team. And you see it, the U.S. women's as well. And
yes.
And that's what makes me so proud of USA Hockey, the nonprofit organization that, you had to sign up, get their insurance. When you played ice hockey, everything went through USA Hockey. All the rinks that popped up, USA Hockey had something to do with it. And the grassroots campaign a long time ago, this didn't seem possible. I mean, who would ever thought that you would have women's ice hockey in the Olympics? But to see the level of play for both teams, elite level, I was actually extremely impressed with the type of hockey that they played, and just coming from where it was when I was just an infant to now, it's amazing. Yeah.
What's amazing too on the women's side is when you look at the men's hockey, obviously Canada is going to be your favorite, basically every year in and out. They're going to be the top. But on the women's side, it's really USA Hockey who is like the top notch on the for women, which is really incredible thing when you think about it. The history of the sport and how, like Sam was saying, how far it's come along is really, really impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Hold on. We got a super chat. Woo! We got number one Blitz said, Canadian Devils fan, I knew Jack would be the one. That, and that's an interesting perspective because not to steer away from what Scotty's saying, because the women's, going back to what you were saying, actually, the women's national program is incredibly deep, and there was a picture of Hillary Knight with a few of the women that she's playing with right now when they were like little girls, like learning to play the game. And you think about the legacy that Hillary Knight has really left for this game and for USA Hockey in general. And you look at like all the things that program has done for, like Sam was saying about USA Hockey in general, like how it's built over the years. You make such a great point, Scotty, of like the women's game has grown exponentially. And I can only hope that would happen in the Olympics between the U.S. and Canada, and having both, U.S. Canadian gold medal games for both men and women. I only hope that it helps bolster up the women's league, right? I only hope that
Yes.
it continues to grow this game. You have I'm sitting there watching it with my daughters the other day when the women won gold medal, and they were jumping up and down just like they were jumping up and down tonight today this morning watching Jack Hughes score that overtime goal. And it's just so fun to see, like, the excitement. Of course, they're like, Dad, can we play hockey? And I'm like, man, it's a little expensive. I don't know about that. So, but I mean, like, it's just
street hockey.
This street hockey. That's how I played, kid. I couldn't afford ice. But, like, it's just amazing. Like, you watch everything that happened this Olympics. The NHL, the PWHL, they have to grab onto this. They have to grab onto this feeling right now and just ride this wave. There has to be a way to translate this. I even said in our group chat, Jack Hughes scoring this goal tonight is going to you're going to see a lot of casual Jack Hughes fans that are going to start popping up. Like people that are going to be like, "Oh my God, it's that." And I know you kind of look like you're about to say, "I don't know about that." But
he's dating Tate McRae. He's got to be great.
Well, no.
He's going to be popular.
He's going to be, but his popularity is going to increase. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. Go ahead. What my point is, it has nothing to do with Jack Hughes. So it's the league that okay. But go ahead.
Well, I don't know. My point that I'm trying to get to is just hopefully that they can capitalize on the popularity of like the Four Nations tournament last year I guarantee that was like, okay, because everybody on the radio was talking about it and everybody's like, all right, this is the new standard of like what an all-star break should be. Although that's like almost impossible to replicate that first one. And it's almost impossible to replicate that every year because you're really asking those guys a lot for like a tournament. But I don't know, man. I just hope the NHL takes this and runs with it.
Well, yeah, and I think with the Four Nations did a lot, because it didn't stop the NHL season to a crushing halt for like 3 or 4 weeks as well. It was this 1 week thing. It was the best on the best. You didn't have these, listen, sucks for Fiala, Crosby, whatever's going to go on there. That idiot from France who like elbowed Nathan McKinnon in the head, then Tom Wilson like went after him, like those type of things you don't get as much when you're doing it just the best on best Four Nations. It was quick. It was effective. I think that was really good. And also if you look at the TV ratings for it, because how many people really out here, I'm a diehard fan and I didn't get up at 5 a.m. to watch that. How many people out here you think got up at 5 a.m.?
I know that's the only thing that was a bummer is like the timing of it.
So, yeah, that was just terrible timing. So,
but they had no choice because of the closing ceremonies and all that kind of stuff.
I disagree. They could have switched out Slovakia and Finland. Nobody gave a crap about them, and switched it because where does the majority of the money comes from to the IOC? It comes from the Americans, NBC paying for those rights. You can at least you can at least make an exception here and say, look, it's all about ratings. It's all about exposure for the IOC. This is your grand finale. Okay, move it up a little bit so at least the casual fan can watch. That's all they really had to do. And, and the other one, they can get their bronze medal, when no one's looking. Yeah, that's fine. And also, I just want one more thing. When Scotty was making his great point about guys getting injured, I realized how big of a Homer fan I was. I was like, well, at least it's not my team. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there is a risk there.
There is, for
it sucks
sure.
If Crosby for some reason misses the NHL playoffs this year, that would suck big time. Obviously Fiala's done. But, there weren't too many injuries, so that's good. But my whole question is not about like the Jack Hughes of it, because we've had an American hero on the Devils previously who scored a very big goal against Canada in the Olympics to tie it up. And what did the league do to cash in on that? I remember talking to someone that I worked with, very famous sportscaster. You probably hear him every Sunday if you're watching the NFL. And I remember when that happened, and I was like, dude, you got to watch the Devils. ZZ Pops, man. I'm telling you, that's how they play all the time. He's like, you know what? I might actually watch some more hockey after this. A couple weeks later, went to talk with him. Nope. He's just like, dude, March Madness started. And it's like,
I know.
So what can the NHL do to grab on to those casual fans? Because if you look at the ratings, like TV ratings, which isn't the best metric anymore, but the Four Nations, they were pushing, it was over 9 million people watching that, Canada, US.
Oh, yeah.
The Cup finals last year was like significantly down. Like, I think it was in like the twos?
I blame Canada.
Which it's usually in like 4s and 5s type of range, but you can see all those, just like thinking in that, I mean, that Four Nations, Canada, US, I think it was like 9.3 I saw when I was researching it earlier. 9.3 million on the TV ratings.
Well, I think that was my point.
How do they grab that and keep
How do they grab that? And exactly. And I want to address something because Frank on the YouTube channel was saying, like, how can NHL ride the wave when the majority of the players in the league are not American and probably couldn't care less that the U.S. won. It's not about the players. I was referring more so about, like, how do you get more, like exactly what you're saying right now? How does the league grow? How does the viewership grow? Like, how do you get more fans into it? What I'm saying is it's great for the U.S. market. The fact that the United States won a gold medal, the fact that Jack Hughes
But are they going to stay? Like the Four Nations last year. Are they going to stay?
That is my question. Like, how, and I guess I posed it in the wrong way or whatever, that Frank didn't get it, but how does the NHL find a way to market the game? There's so much juice right now, right? The Four Nations last year, the Olympics this year, there's so much juice that's involved. There's so many people. You go on like Instagram and you have guys like JJ Watt retweeting a picture of Jack Hughes. You have like, President Obama, he would probably say congratulations because he was an ex-president. But you have like all these other celebrities, Tom Brady. You have like guys in other sports that are like reposting things and like, way to go. How do they take this moment and capitalize on it? Because that to me is like, how do you grow the game? The NHL always seems to be stuck in the mud. They don't mark the players correctly or whatever the case may be. Like, they don't just push the game the right way. But then when you bring somebody, and I know we've all experienced this, if you bring a casual fan or somebody that's never seen a game before, you bring them to the live event, they're like, oh my God, I had no idea hockey was so much fun. And you're like, yeah, no kidding. Like, this is what I've been saying for the longest time. It doesn't get the TV coverage it needs to get. It doesn't get the radio play it needs to get. And right now is one of those times where the NBA is in kind of like a downward flux. And it's not just me just saying like, oh, the NBA sucks right now. You go listen to the radio every day, like I do, right? Go listen to ESPN radio every day and listen to how they talk about the NBA. They'll even say it. They're saying that, the president of the NBA, Silver, has like a huge problem on his hands. You got guys missing games, you got load management, you got all this other kind of stuff. And then you look at the NHL, you look at Jack Hughes getting his entire mouth busted in. He goes out and he continues to play and he scores the overtime winning goal. I know to some people that might not seem like a big deal, but I mean, that's what hockey's about.
Yeah, but now it's become a talking point to talk about the NBA. See, the problem is ESPN has a massive contract with them. And since when the NHL did their thing and said, all right, we're going to go to the outdoor network instead. We don't need you, ESPN. ESPN was just like, all right. Well,
that was the biggest mistake.
We're going to stop covering you on SportsCenter. We're going to stop talking about you on ESPN radio. And the NBA wants to play ball with us, so now we're just going to make everything about the NBA.
Yeah,
and that's essentially what happened. And the NHL has never recovered. Didn't help that they also locked out twice as well after that. That wasn't not good. So, but we've had this momentum, and it's funny too because we've had it here in New Jersey. I mean, people were literally calling Jamie Langenbrunner Captain America.
Captain America. Yep, I remember that. Yep.
Zach Parise scored that goal, and there was so much momentum, and now it's similar. Zach Parise, New Jersey Devil. Jack Hughes, New Jersey Devil. So big goal scored. There was all that about it. There was all that about Four Nations. There's all about that, right now with the gold medal. Does that translate, or do people just turn it off and it's just back to the regular hockey fans? Well, that's the problem with everything.
Yeah, you're 100%. I guess you could parallel that to like the Super Bowl, and people are always like, "Well, look at the NFL." But the NFL has one game a week that you have to care about, right? Like the Super Bowl is a standalone game. That's why they get the massive ratings. It's not a 7-game series. Like the NFL is the king of the mountain, and they will, they'll be the king of the mountain probably forever.
Yeah.
And the Super Bowl gets this huge bump for tons of different reasons too. You got the halftime show, you got even the commercials. Like you have all these different things that are going to make the Super Bowl what it is. The NHL taking this moment and being like, "Hey, how do we help grow viewership? How do we help grow the game off of something as incredible as this, or as incredible as the Four Nations?" I think is the biggest mystery right now, because I don't know if we know the answer as fans, and I don't know if they know the answer as an organization. Because how do you turn that casual fan into like a hardcore fan, right? Like you just be like, "Oh man, look at that! That's Jack Hughes. He's an American hero. Check this out." And then you're like, yeah, like you said, they get so into the moment. But just like everything in life, you get so into the moment, and then as soon as it's not in front of you, see you later.
Well, I think the NHL has an opportunity here more than just this past Olympics. You asked that question, Beer Baron. I mean, there's so many moving parts why football is where it is, and that with the media, but I think the casual fan hates phoniness. What we saw in the Olympics and what we saw in Four Nations was real. It was real rivalry. It was real hatred. It was nothing artificially manufactured. Everybody, including Team Canada and all the other nations, were doing it for their country. They were doing it for the love of the game. They wanted to represent the country well. And that's number one. The casual fan doesn't like phoniness, and I think hockey, out of the four sports, is the least phony. I think that's part of the reason why the NBA is starting to flounder. They're lucky they're being propped up because it's a global game. When they did the Dream Team in the Olympics, it also got other countries like China and Europe to really, and even South America to really
build programs.
Yeah, build programs. But in the United States, let's just talk about the United States alone. Next year, you may have a year-long lockout or strike with Major League Baseball. Okay, you have that. The NBA is the NBA, and they're kind of, you're right, they're kind of in a mess right now, which only leaves football and hockey. There's a real opportunity here to really capture that audience, especially, and I credit Gary Bettman again. It wasn't popular back in the early 90s. It's not popular with Canadians. But after that Gretzky trade, he put teams down south when everybody was laughing at it. Nobody's laughing right now. You got Austin Matthews, Scottsdale, Arizona. Jack Hughes' dad had a job with the Orlando Solar Bears, and Jack Hughes was born in Orlando, Florida. You have Blake Coleman. He wasn't on the team, born in Texas, right? You've got non-traditional markets What?
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Did I say
Scotty
something?
Was, like, no, Scotty was laughing. No, you're 100% right. You're 100%
So,
I was just
right.
thinking, yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of the stuff you're talking about is beyond our control. Like the media, I don't even agree with the way they vote. They don't put Eli Manning in the freaking, you know.
Oh, that's a whole. That's
you know
a
what I
whole
mean?
Another
Stan Fisher's not in the Hockey Hall of Fame. Like, I hate the media.
Yep.
And they pick and choose what we watch. So, but hockey, and when they did the Outdoor Life Network thing, I get it what you guys were saying, but at the same time, the NHL wanted to be free from those that tell them where they're going to put you on the channel. They wanted it. They tried something different to be independent. Now you have the NHL channel. The media landscape has completely changed since 2005. But in my opinion, keep it authentic, non-phony. Don't take the emotion out of the game. And if there's a fight, let them go, instead of always having to stop it before it gets good, you know. And I think what happened in the Olympics, I think, you know, again, we could get rid of the staged fighting back in the day. You know, like we could remember back in the day in the late 90s. Oh, yeah, Jim McKenzie is going to take on that guy. That stuff is out of the game now. So I don't mind the fighting. It's just the phoniness and the stage stuff. But
even the line-on-line brawl, like the line-on-line brawl is like cool, like once in a blue moon. But
yeah,
even that kind of was like, all right, guys, like we get it. Like, but the in the moment, heat of the moment fight, yeah, for sure. Like that's a part of the game. That's what makes hockey what it is. You know, like there's a lot of things. First of all, I want to go back to something that you said about when they went to Versus or I'm sorry, the Outdoor Network, and then it became Versus.
Yeah,
and how. Before I go any further, Scotty, I have to know why. Were you laughing about Jack Hughes being born in Orlando?
Yeah, that was all I was thinking was, and then probably moved to Toronto.
And they moved to Toronto like 2 year later.
But that's fine.
We came this close to him being a Canadian national.
The fact. See, that the Solar Bears saved us. We
Solar
beat
Bears saved America
because Jack was born on American soil. Damn it, he could have been a dual citizen.
The Solar Bears
Yeah.
saved America.
Yeah.
Oh my
We should
God.
all buy Solar Bear jerseys.
I will.
Jack
I will.
Hughes,
A Hughes Solar Bear jersey. I'll tell you what,
oh my
man.
God.
It is. Talk about capitalizing.
That's why
on
I was laughing
the
before,
growth
because that
of the
just
game.
popped into my head.
Oh,
As soon
okay.
as you
I
said
thought
it.
I thought I was
Born in
being.
Orlando. And then I was like, and then he moved to Toronto when he was 6.
Yeah.
But he was born on American soil.
Yeah.
Solar Bears.
Solar
should be a
Bears
chance
to the rescue.
We should get. You know what should start?
Bears.
Like,
Solar Bears. Yeah.
after Jack like scores a goal and everything calms down just before the puck drops again, everyone should just chant, Solar Bears. Like,
You should get it. You should buy a Solar Bears jersey. And
we're
put
definitely
Hughes
getting.
on the
we're
back.
getting-
end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to a Florida Everglades or game. Everglades or Everblades?
Everblades.
Game? Yeah.
Everblades.
And
yeah.
Solar Bears down in Florida the next time we're, Devils take on the Panthers or
Oh, and AJ says they have one of the best logos in hockey. Okay.
yeah, they do. They
All
do.
right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna get me a Solar Bears jersey.
But
then.
that's how you promote the game. You bring it down south. That's the point that I was making. And and they're gonna do three times in Atlanta. That's the rumor, right?
Yeah. Well,
that
Atlanta,
one I would
Houston,
stay away from.
There's
Houston
a
seems
few.
a lot more sports, friendly. Like they're gonna go out
Yeah.
and support. I don't know. I feel like Atlanta been there, done that. There is something I want to discuss with Mr. Beer Baron too. But go ahead.
Yeah. No. Go ahead. Well, actually, can I ask you guys? Because one of the things that we were talking about growing a game, and Stanley said on the YouTube chat. By the way, thank you to everybody out
yes,
there.
Stanley
YouTube,
and Bill.
Instagram. Yeah. So
Stanley
Stanley
and Bill
said
said
hockey
this.
is just
Too
too
expensive.
expensive for most people. That is always going to be to hold it down. Impossible to play without money. So I will say this: yes, but. So there's a yes, but. There's now because of how much growth there's been in the country. You know, you have to look at like what this is going to do. Like growing the game is one of the most important things that could happen from U.S. winning the gold medal right now, right? So trying to continue to grow the game. I know that the Devils have a program. I know that the Rangers have a program. I know that there's programs out there that if you want your kids to play hockey and you can't afford it, they will actually provide you the equipment, and it's like a learn-to-play team. Now, eventually, yes, like you're going to have to, if you're fully committed and your kids are like really into it and they really want to continue to play, it does get expensive at times. And all my friends that have kids that play hockey, the times that they tell me, I'm like, man, I had to go to my daughter had a basketball game at 8:15 in the morning. They're like, I had hockey at 5 and in Pennsylvania, so suck it. And I'm like, all right, you win. So, you know, there are challenges, and that's true. We played street hockey as kids. Like, we couldn't afford, you know, ice hockey, and that was a game at, like, the mid-'90s. Roller hockey was huge, absolutely huge. That would be great to see that come back a little bit more. You know, like little rinks, tennis courts, parking lots, cul-de-sacs, wherever we could find place to play, we'd play. And that's how, like, a lot of us that couldn't afford to play ice hockey, that's how we were able to dip our toes deeper into the game. So there are other opportunities, but I don't disagree that it is an expensive sport.
So, question here for you, because I don't even know if there are programs out there like this. And it's funny, we were right on the same page. And yes, don't worry, South Fork Yeti, we are not going to allow Sam to get a Jack Hughes or Luke Hughes or any sort of Hughes jersey. We know the curse of the jersey. We're not going to allow that.
Which is so weird, it's real.
Just me.
Yeah, the Jack Hughes jersey I have, I took. Somebody left it at the set.
Oh, that's your retro one.
Yeah.
You like your reverse retro. But here's a question. Maybe there is something out there already. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But wouldn't it be a good idea for maybe, you know, the NHL to start up, you know, maybe some like town leagues or something like that, where maybe like the sticks and the gloves and the shin pads are kind of community, you know, in the sense where like, oh, this. Remember Little League, you know, you get your jersey and stuff like that. I mean, you had your own glove, obviously, and cleats, but kind of the same thing, you know, maybe you get your jersey and you get like some shin pads and like a helmet and gloves or something. And you only have to provide like a stick and your skates because kids grow.
Yeah.
So, you know, those skates, you know, would that be something? Because then you have the kids playing it more and maybe it isn't as much of a financial hardship on parents. I know that's like impossible to do, like fund an entire country of towns with hockey equipment. But, you know, maybe if they start off in certain areas, you know, and then expand, see how the program works, start one up, you know, in Chicago and New York, you know, and see how it goes.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. But there are, and there's a lot of those programs that I was saying before, like those learn to play programs where they do provide you the equipment. So they do exist out there. And
is that ice or see, I'm talking about
ice.
I'm talking about
it's ice.
I'm not talking about ice. I'm talking about inline street.
Oh, okay. Well, all right.
Instead.
So in my hometown, for example, we started a roller hockey league. So there's an actual league. It's been there forever now, the Greenbrick Hockey League. And if you have, it's the same thing. You come with sticks and a skate. You can buy your own equipment. If you don't have things, they have a huge shed that has like tons of hand-me-down equipment. Kids that used to play, you know, bring your stuff back and just kind of like, I don't use this anymore. So they donate it to the league. They take very good care of all that stuff too, because it does, you know, hockey equipment is notorious for reeking.
expensive.
Like it's all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's expensive, but it
well,
also
that too, yeah.
it stinks. Stinks to high hell. If you've ever played
Kidding me,
hockey,
you sweat?
or
You sweat and you play?
Oh,
No
you sweat.
way.
You sweat. You
In
ever play in the
all
middle of
those-
August
in
on,
that
on
sweater?
black asphalt? Yeah.
In the middle
but
of summer.
but they provide. Now you have to pay to get in. It's a rec league. You have to pay. I think it's only like $80 to get into, and they have like 2 seasons a year. But it's a great league. There's other roller hockey leagues that are around. Unfortunately, there's a few that were out there that have folded. There's like a big boom, and then it kind of like died down, and then it's going to come back. And this is kind of like what I was talking about riding the wave before. Is like exactly what you're saying. It'd be awesome if the Devils had incentive not just to do that, but they also have like ball hockey league, or like they have street hockey league.
Because that's easier for
like
kids to play.
It's kind of like
rollerblades
it's kind of like flag football for the NFL, because there was a lot of parents concerned about the CTE and getting hit, and now girls are now playing flag football, and Danielle McCartan is actually running those leagues in New Jersey right now, kind of introducing football, some organized league. So I agree with Scotty on that. I mean, I think the least path to resistance to getting people in the door is actually having them touch a hockey stick for the first time, or playing some kind of organized setting, ball hockey. You need your sneakers, and you just, do you really need a glove?
Yeah. Yeah, I think like that's. Go ahead, Scotty.
Go ahead.
No. I was just going to agree to all this. I think that's such a great point, and I think that's what I was trying to say before of like riding the wave. Like, how do you get more viewers in? How do you grow the game? Like, this is a great way or a great opportunity to grow the game. Like, if you could have it organically, where you have each team responsible, like each NHL team is responsible for like one team. I don't know, like or like even like build a small rink or whatever the case may be, where you can help grow the game in your community, and just try to grassroots that, and then from there you could take that A team, and then you start a B team and a C team, and then you start these kind of underlaying teams that feed into that one team. And I get it, like the logistics of that are really hard. Asking owners to commit to that kind of thing, where they won't even commit to having running bathrooms, is difficult sometimes. But
that's why I'm wondering: is this something that maybe the league steps in on? As opposed to just the teams.
Yeah. And would you, okay, so let's say hypothetically, let's just have fun with this for a second. Let's say you and I are in the league, and they're like, all right, you guys, you're responsible for setting this up. We'll fund it. We'll put it out there. So you and I have to sit down, and we have to look at each state, and we have to say, well, obviously, let's take New Jersey because we live here. How many teams are you going to have in the state? Like, are you going to have it set up where, because if you think about it, if you have one centrally located team, like, is that really fair for people to drive 3 hours just to get to it, or 2 hours just to get to it? Or are you going to have multiple teams spread out through the entire state, where you have like the Northern Jersey, the Central Jersey, and the South Jersey teams? You know what I mean?
I mean, it's something. Yeah, I mean, it's an astronomical undertaking, but the NHL has to do something though to grab on and like use the momentum.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm getting to.
Maybe Jack can take his reading program and put that on hold and actually do ball hockey with the kids in Newark. They'll get him out.
I think ball hockey is probably a lot more affordable, though, than ice.
Yeah.
Right? Because, I mean, like, you don't need every piece of equipment for,
I mean, hockey's hockey. I mean, that's the goal is to try to get them interested and actually hold a stick and actually maybe score a goal. That's how it builds. And then finally, like, hockey's expensive. Well, maybe I'll find a way, I mean, Mike Richter did. He found a way.
Yeah.
When
I first started playing,
we
played on tennis courts. We didn't play on a rig.
We played. When I said cul-de-sacs, we we played everywhere. We played anywhere you could play. Like
that was the first league I played in. Was on
tennis
an actual
courts,
league. Was on tennis courts. Yeah. Oh yeah, but like
tennis courts are
whoever,
great for
whoever's
skating.
buddy like lived that. Going to that house, boom, setting up the goals and going, man.
Or Wayne's World, remember that?
Oh, 100%. Or
Game
you'd go through. We used to get in the car and drive around town and be like, all right, who just paved their parking lot? And one time we went to there right in the middle of town, and they just paved their parking lot, and we're like, let's go. And we played there for a while, and the church didn't care. Like, they were super cool about it. I just read Robert. Are you about to say what Robert wrote?
Yeah. And you know what? That's probably something that's happening quite often with those.
Yeah, it is.
Damn pickleball.
There was one. So I live in a town where we have a roller hockey rink that is in desperate need of some TLC up here. The one in Martinsville that we used to play all the time, which was one of my favorite rinks. Unless you went into the boards, because the boards were chain link fence, like at the top, and if you got your finger caught in it, you'd snap it back. That rink was great, but I think that one's kind of needing a little help there too, because it's kind of falling apart. There was one in Bridgewater that I know for a fact got ripped down because the kids were playing soccer in it and like just destroying it. And that was a good one too. That one actually, it was a really nice rink too.
I remember.
But yeah,
I played at that one too.
Plenty of.
I can't remember the name of that road. What's the name of that road?
That's Findern Avenue. Is that Findern Avenue? I can't.
Maybe that's what it was. Somewhere over there.
It might be. But all I know is there's plenty of rinks that unfortunately have met the demise of pickleball or whatever the case may be, because kids, like I said, in the 90s there was that huge pop of like roller hockey, and like it was cheap to get stuff. I remember, dude, you get like a Joe Sakic stick with that illegal curve on it for like $17. You could snap that hockey ball as like you could be like skating up and just snap it top corner like you were the nastiest hockey player in the world. And all it was is because it had that ridiculously looking curve on it. And then they had I still have it's funny, I was digging through a bunch of stuff. My girls were like, hey, let's go play hockey in the driveway the other day. And I still have like 3 sticks from when I was probably like 14, 15 years old, where they had the replaceable blades. It was like the old Easton like carbon fiber shaft, and you'd have to like buy the blades and like heat it with a torch and then like put the new ones in. If you didn't do it right, the blade would go flying out. Dude, it's the best. I love street hockey. That's actually
this is what a stick is like when I was your age. This is what we had to use blow torches to put our hockey sticks together.
I still have one of the old aluminum shaft too. Like I have an aluminum shaft. You remember getting whacked in the head with one of those things? Like, holy God!
Oh yeah.
All the old hockey sticks and all that stuff. Like the old blades. Like I was like skating with cinder blocks on your feet. It's the best.
Well, we've been talking, I guess, a lot of off-topic stuff here, but I see Jay Snow and Metalander. Besides all of the, Jack Hughes scoring, gets the picture with the teeth knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
Jasper Bratt had him. I mean, on a positive side, Timo Meyer started to score as well, which was nice to see.
Had a good...
Will it continue? We will find out.
Yep.
Even though, I mean, come on, we all know the season's pretty much over. But either way, there'll still be games to be played for the Devils.
25-0, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna go on the heater of all heaters. The heater to end all heaters. That's what it's gonna be.
When undefeated in the Olympics, Jack is gonna bring that knowledge.
All right.
To the New Jersey Devils. But he's got to get his teeth fixed first, so he'll be out, 2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah. He'll come back right onto the IR. Right on the IR.
Man.
Maybe we'll have LTIR money to spend before trade deadline. That's Fitzy's move right there. His big move.
We got to talk about that. Yeah.
Let's
move that he's teasing, but also
move.
Jesper Bratt, what went on with him? Because it seemed like, I don't know, was he struggling? Was there a coaching issue going on there in Sweden? Like,
I'll tell you what I heard.
What exactly?
I'll tell you what I heard.
He got benched for that game, and then they threw him out there on the ice for like the final 5 minutes. And this is like, what?
He was one of the no. It was the third period. He was benched for the first 2 periods, and he came out in the third period because he was the extra forward. Because in the Olympics, you can have 7 defensemen.
Right,
you can have 15 forwards and 7 defensemen. So he was the extra forward, and Victor Hedman was like the celebratory extra defenseman. So they weren't going to use him because he got hurt in warmups. But the crazy thing is Bratt doesn't see the ice whatsoever for the first 2 periods. He comes out in that third period, and it's the old dynamic Bratt, where I'm like, watch, this dude is going to burn the U.S. to the ground right now because he's on pissed off mode. And he's out there to prove a point. Like, you benched me for what? And he's going to go God mode and just start ripping U.S. to shreds. And he was getting damn close to, like, turning it up to a point where you're like, oh, God. But, Sam, I'm curious to hear your inside scoop of what
It's
happened.
not really inside scoop. It's public information. But I heard that Finland and Sweden, there was a big disconnect with the NHL players and their home country coaches. There was a big disconnect there, and I'm wondering if Bratt was facing the same thing. But then again, like Alexander Holtz never made that one team for Team Sweden a couple years ago. Well, I know, but I don't know. I don't know if there's a connection there or not. I don't know, but that's been, I think that's public knowledge there that Sweden and Finland, the NHL players didn't really mesh well with their home country coach, and so maybe there's a disconnect there. I don't know. Maybe Amanda Stein is going to ask Jesper Bratt what happened, and we'll get all the scoop.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure we'll get hard-hitting reporting on that one.
Yeah. What'd you eat in Italy, Jesper? Anyway.
Yeah. How was the pasta? Was it real pasta? Or was it Burbillo or Portillo? The reality is, like, Timo was playing well. Jack was like vintage Jack. Nico had a decent tournament, like a pretty good tournament. Even hey, listen, even in that elimination game, Markstrom was looking pretty damn good. And that goal that Quinn scored on him in overtime, you know what? Maybe he could have had it, but that was a hell of a shot. And I don't care who's in goal. I don't think anybody's maybe it was whatever. It was just a good shot. I'll give him that. But Markstrom looked great in that game, and everybody's like, "Oh my God!" All right. So you remember pre-Olympics, I had this like conspiracy theory. Like, there's a lot of these guys are not playing up to their potential because they're trying to, save themselves a little bit for the Olympics. And some people laughed, or like, "That's stupid." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know." And then you see the Olympics happen, and like, it's a different feeling too. Like, these guys, pride for country is a huge thing with hockey players. Like, look at Ovechkin, his chase for winning a gold for Russia, and like, before Russia got banned from the Olympics, and remember they played under the federation or whatever.
What I don't remember anymore.
Yeah, whatever the hell they were. The year that they won the gold, when they had like Kovalchuk and Datsuk, and let's not joke ourselves. Canada and the U.S. best teams in the Olympics this year. If Russia was actually able, Jesus Christ! Oh my God! If Russia could put together a team, they would be out of this world. Like, they would be just as good at, if not better, at some point.
They would,
look at the goaltending alone.
I think if they're there, they push Sweden out of that third.
1,000%.
Right 1, there, I feel like
Yeah, so Russia not being represented in the Olympics kind of changes things. But listen, when the Devils come back, our first game is Wednesday, right? So once everything comes back to normal, everybody gets back into the swing of things. I wonder if Jack is going to jump right back in, or if they're going to give him like a day or two to kind of like recuperate. Sammy might not be wrong. He might come back and have to get. He's gonna have
Probably.
to look at his grill. He's gonna have to get teeth put back in, so he might miss a game or two.
He brought the United States a gold medal. He can take the season off if he wants to. Winning solves everything. I'm a man true to my word. Like I said on the Morning Woo, I said, look, if he brings back gold, we'll hit the hard reset button and figure out how to repair this relationship.
Yeah.
He brought us the gold, literally. He showed us where the gold's at. So,
Yep.
Winning solves everything. My attitude changed instantly. Now, if Team Canada would have scored because of his penalty, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
He actually said that. He goes, he took that penalty, right? And he said, I sat in the penalty box, and the first thought in my head was, if they score in this power play, like on Spit and Chicklets, I'm going to be cast, or on Barstool, I'm going to be cast as the villain. He's like, everybody's going to hate me because I took this penalty. And he's like, I'm sitting there having this internal panic of like, oh God, like what the hell is going to happen if they score? And I mean, like, yeah, for sure. Like he did. Jack Hughes loves his country. Look at what he did when he lost in what year was that? The World Juniors year. Was that 2019? Was that 2019?
Yeah, 2019.
When he lost in the gold medal game and he was like devastated. And he was like, playing for the United States is extremely important for him and extremely important for his family. So Jack coming back after winning the gold, if he needs a couple days, let him take a couple days. But
yeah,
we need to see that Jack that was out there in the Olympics. We need to see that out here wearing the black and red. That kind of momentum, that kind of leadership, that kind of like just going out there taking the game, like taking over the game at some points. We need to see that again.
From a human standpoint, I think Jack needed the Olympics, and also I think the Goudreau family as well.
Yeah, God bless that.
I mean,
God bless that.
Seeing that jersey out on the ice, I mean, you almost got teary-eyed. I almost did, just because.
Oh, almost. How about when he brought their kids out there?
Oh my goodness!
Give me a break, dude.
Bring the kids.
My kids
looking.
are like, are you crying? I'm like, nope. Dad's just got something in his eye. That's all. That's it.
The two kids out there, and just the father, tears in his eyes.
Yeah.
Johnny Gaudreau's dad. And then Eddie Olczyk. I thought Kenny Albert and Eddie Olczyk did a heck of a job.
Amazing.
That was
amazing.
That was world class broadcasting right there.
Yeah.
Just everything was on point. I thought Catherine Tappan's interview with Jack Hughes was amazing. Catching him in the moment, and Jack Hughes just being Jack Hughes, and just it was a great interview.
He can give interviews.
Oh yeah. Just don't ask him what you need to tell the Devils fans.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a very, very different Jack Hughes in a couple weeks. Yeah. So I mean, that's gonna be a big question. Which one? I mean, because that team, you got Dylan Larkin on there, and a lot of these other guys. You got Tortorella standing behind you. Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. It's way different. That's apples and oranges. Not even. That's apples and wrenches. You're playing on a line with guys that are the top of their team. Even the fourth line, even with JT Miller, as much as you can hate him, and Trocheck, listen, a lot of people are like, they don't belong in this team. That penalty kill was 18 for 18 for a reason. That penalty kill was as good as it was because those guys did what they needed to do. And Scotty, you're 100% right. Like, I know you said this in our group chat before, like off air, where you're like, well, Jack, when he's in Jersey, like, he's got Sheldon Keefe, who's like the let's be pals kind of coach, it seems like. We don't know that for sure. When you're playing for Team USA, you have the weight of, first of all, you have the weight of the country on you. It's not even like, hey, I just play in Jersey and I can kind of like be good and hang out. You have the weight of the country on you. You have everybody in that room. You have Matthew Tkachuk. You have Brady Tkachuk. You have guys that are
what
probably
you
be like,
said.
get your stuff together.
What you just said there that's what it used to be like playing for the Devils when you come in here with Scott Stevens and Ken Danico and Niedermeyer and Brodeur and Patrick Eliash. You better be ready to play. So how does that get back to, the red and black team?
You got to start winning. And that's why they could have that gravitas. That's why you could have a Stevens and a Brodeur and all those guys doing what they do. And having that kind of like presence is because you're winning. You can't go into a team that's losing. And God bless Nico Hischier, and I love Nico. He's probably right now currently like one of my favorite players on the team, right? I think he's a good captain. I think he plays the right way. I think he plays his ass off. I think he sets a good example. But you're 100% right. The leadership in that room, what have you earned yet? If you wanted to get back to that, you need to start winning. And I also think that you need the right kind of coach. You need a coach that's going to be like, get your ass on the ice, or get off. I called you off 2 minutes ago. Get off the ice. And now you're going to sit the entire third period, and I don't care if you're Jack Hughes or who you are. You need guys to be fully vested and fully bought in. And there's times in the beginning of the season where I'm like, damn, do you remember the beginning of the season? This team looked like a team, and we kept saying, like, look at how they stand up for each other. Look at how they're, like, so supportive. They look so well bonded. And then things happened. I'm a firm believer, you could call it a conspiracy theory or whatever. I think the Quinn Hughes thing splintered that locker room because I feel like there's a good majority of them that wanted him in there, and the guys that blocked the trades to prevent that from happening. There's this discord of like, well, you know what? We could have had one of the best defensemen in the NHL in here, but instead we have you. So I'm speculating. That's all speculation. That's all speculation.
Wait. Is it that because it's the player's right to use that clause? Is it that they're mad at the players, or are they mad at the people in charge who gave the players these rights and are like, you want to use them now? What?
Yeah.
So it's an important thing to figure out, because
100%.
As Sam Wu will tell you, leadership back in the day, there was a very clear path.
Well, that started
with Lou
up top.
Yeah.
That started up top with Lou because you did not cross Lou. You remember their story, and I think we've talked about this on the podcast a million times, but like the story of Lou Lamoriello firing people and then sitting in a folding chair by the door as they were leaving the building.
Mm-hmm.
And, like
Lou
there's
disputes
just,
it. He disputes that. The arch nemesis. He said in the lawsuit, arch nemesis. He called Lou Lamoriello his arch nemesis in the lawsuit, which got dismissed.
Which was arch nemesis is one of the. What are you, 5 years old? Like, it's one of the greatest things to call somebody as an adult. You have an arch nemesis? I do now. It's Lou Lamoriello. Haven't you seen?
Well, I mean, you saw what he's done to other people's careers. I mean, remember Deron Quint? They traded for him from Columbus, and suddenly he disappeared. Malakoff goes out skiing, and Lou tells him, okay, you're retired. He's gone, Takes Dan McGillis. You're not.
And you're retired now.
Do you guys see Robert Isaacson's comment here from Sullivan about the construction of the team?
Yeah, why don't you read that?
The team was built with personality in mind. There are whiskey drinkers and milk drinkers, and we got a bunch of whiskey drinkers. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Exactly. And yes, the makeup of that Team USA, if in a perfect world, because they're all top liners, they're all, all-stars, they're all guys that, top guys in the NHL. But besides that, look at the character of all those guys. Look at Jack Eichel. Jack Eichel had one of the greatest interviews after the game where he was like in tears, and a reporter was asking him like, how does it feel to come back from almost leaving hockey because of a surgery decision to then winning a Stanley Cup, then to coming here to play here for the United States, to like, and blah, blah, blah. And he's like almost crying, and he's like, yeah, dude, I almost lost everything, and like the support that I got, and the game means a lot to these guys. They grind it out. The win, like the country, the win, everything. Like Jack Hughes said one of the greatest lines that I loved. He goes, "We've been here for 2 weeks," and he goes, "There is nothing like the USA Hockey Brotherhood."
Yeah.
Like those guys meshed like this. I mean, yeah, they had the Four Nations last year. Like, definitely helped the bonding process of this team. But holy Christ, like this team came together, and it wasn't just about beating Canada. It was about bringing pride to the country. Being like every one of them, I play for my country. I play for my country. I play for my country. Giving credit to the next person. Giving credit to Hellebuck. Hellebuck giving credit back over to this person. That team played for each other. They were so in lockstep. So yeah, hell yeah, they were whiskey drinkers. Hell yeah, they were tough and rumble, and they're not scared to go in a corner and put an elbow up in your face. But
I like
that's why
that.
they won. I like that. You like that? I like that.
Yeah. Reminds
I
me
watch a lot
of a certain Scott Stevens and Ken Danico.
Yes.
And,
yeah, gritty.
that era of gentlemen.
And Randy McKay, John Madden, Jay
Bobby
Pandolfo.
Holik.
Were some of these names outside of New Jersey, you didn't know who the hell they were. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't names like
Jason Arnott.
Yeah, there was a McGillney here, and there was but a lot of the guys homegrown. A lot of the homegrown guys. Scotty Gomez when he first came into the league. Patrick Eliash, a man of few words out there, who should be in the Hall of Fame.
Well,
Talking about people that should be in the Hall of Fame, Patrick Eliash should be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, we've had a nice long talk here about some stuff that maybe, hopefully, we can see the NHL do to grow the game. And, big congratulations for USA Hockey, both men's and women's gold medals. Didn't have that one on the bingo card, right? But teams came through. You got American hero, Jack Hughes, elbows up. That's right, medal.
Elbows up.
Check out the pics if you haven't seen them. They're all over the socials. Busted teeth, gold medal. There you go.
Yeah.
Let's hope we can take some of this, from Jack. Also, we didn't even get to talk about it. I didn't actually see any of the games because they were on at weird times and they weren't the most popular team. But Shimon Nemitz, from everything that I read about him, had a very solid Olympics.
Oh yeah.
I honestly didn't get. I actually tried because I read about it and I looked for it, but they're just on at weird times for me out here. So, but that obviously Jack's momentum, Shimon, Timo, let's see, you can only expect so much at this point, with so many games left and where there are in the standings. But I still want to have some fun watching these games, right? So let's see if maybe some of this stuff can carry over in a positive form. And Tom Fitzgerald, oh no.
Don't screw this up, Tom.
Don't screw it up now.
Don't.
Here it comes tomorrow.
Don't do anything.
Just make sure.
Traded to Minnesota.
Just make sure Jack doesn't go home with Billy on the plane ride back. That's Tom's
God.
Final thoughts.
My final
thoughts is someone take away Tom Fitzgerald's phone. Don't allow him to take any calls or
monitor
emails
it. Monitor it. Monitor it. Yeah. Put a LifeLock on that bad boy. I think my final thoughts are, what a wild ride. I mean, so excited. We haven't had that feeling of pressure hockey since the Devils Rangers series a couple years ago, where I literally was standing the entire time watching the game today. When Jack scored the goal, I sprinted around my house just screaming my face off, like out of elation, just out of like excitement. just couldn't believe that it was out of everybody on that team, it was Jack Hughes that did it. And it was like just the whole leading up to this game. The hockey world wanted this game. The four nations set the table, and they said, Canada, U.S., now it's up to you. And the fact that both teams delivered and then also delivered an absolute epic game today, that is the only thing you could ask for. And congratulations to all the boys out there. Congratulations to the Goudreau family for being there. For Johnny's spirit was out there with the boys for sure. For sure. And just proud of that team, man. Just proud of every single one of those guys. And it's so weird and something that I didn't get a chance to talk about because we had a Canadian Devils fan pop on and say they knew it was going to be Jack Hughes. What it feels like to root for guys that you normally don't root for, like a JT Miller or Trocheck, or to be living in Canada and then watching your favorite player, Jack Hughes, score a game-winning goal against your national team. So that's a very interesting take that maybe we could talk about again some other day. But hell of a game, boys. Hell of a goddamn game. Proud to see them win.
Final thoughts. 3 things I didn't really talk about. Jack Eichel living in Connor McDavid's shadow throughout his entire career. McDavid picked number 1. He was number 2. Any other draft year, he would have been number 1. But Jack Eichel can say, I'm a gold medalist and I've won a Stanley Cup. What have you done, Connor?
Good point.
It's amazing how things work. And it's not a knock on Connor McDavid. I mean, Jack Eichel took a risk. I wouldn't say a risk, but he made a decision that was not popular with the Buffalo Sabres of how to treat his neck injury. And he came out on top. And now he's on the top of the hockey world. So kudos to him. Also, Jack Hughes in an interview, one question was asked of him, who was the first person you thought of after scoring that goal? And you can think of a variety of people, his mom, Tate, whoever. He said Megan Keller, the other one that had that golden goal for Team USA Women's, because he met her a couple nights prior and congratulating her and talking to her. But who knew that would be Jack Hughes having that golden goal for the men's team as well? So if you want to talk about this generation of hockey players respecting the women's ice hockey, that was organic. That was authentic. Jack Hughes thinking about others in that USA hockey, I guess, sisterhood, over there. Their sisters over there. And I thought that was really cool that he mentioned Megan Keller when the reporter asked him. Because usually you just give a dry answer, but that was a very thoughtful answer. And to my last point, I'm very happy that Jack Hughes can do interviews very well because he represented the country very well in those interviews. And he wasn't giving dry, PR spin answers like he normally does, after a Devils game. It was really refreshing to see the Jack Hughes who we thought we drafted. Junkyard Dog when the first time around he busted his teeth. Or Gato and Chill, and all that kind of stuff. I want to see that Jack Hughes come back. Let Jack Hughes be Jack Hughes. And that's all I have to say. Want to thank everybody for tuning in to Let's Go Devils podcast. Good to see you guys again. We're back to our normal schedule. Morning Woo tomorrow morning. Also, State of the Fan address will have a time change because of the Wednesday. We got 2 Wednesday games back-to-back weeks. So we'll let you know when we'll go on then. And also, we're going to have Game Day Live and Devils After Dark. Will be at American Whiskey when the Devils take on the Buffalo Sabres on Wednesday. So we see you there. Thank you. Till next time, let's go Devils.